What other kinds of things, and if you can name it specifically?
To the gym. Shoes for school.
With Workforce Essential Skills, we're actually building skills that are related to tasks within the workplace.
Traditional skills tend to be knowledge-based. You're learning to do fractions, or you're learning some reading skills.
They get to practice things in the classroom that they would be doing when they move on to work, so that they have those skills and have a really good foundation and understanding of what the job will entail.
We work with people who face a lot of barriers to employment for a variety of reasons. A lot of them have relatively low self-confidence. They don't necessarily recognize the skills that they bring to the workplace.
The workforce literacy programming is for people who have specific interest in going to work. They just lack some of the skills that they need to go to work.
In an Aboriginal context, historically there's been very negative experiences attached to learning and in school education institutions because of the residential school. And so what we have is an opportunity to create a new experience for the learners where they can experience something positive early on in the learning stages.
We're looking at skills that people are going to use on the job. People's ultimate goal is employment, and we might be a step just on the way. Somebody might be looking at us to upgrade their skills, move on to skills training, and then move on to employment, or hopefully they might get their essential skills to a level that they can go directly into employment.
Not only does building workforce literacy skills open up doors for employment, it also opens up doors for future education, further post-secondary training if that's what they want. Because once we build those foundational skills, they then can go into post-secondary training and manage the program.
We have people who have been out of the workforce for an extended period of time or maybe never been in the workforce. We have long-term social assistance dependency clients, and we also have people within our organization that could benefit from essential skills training to improve on their skills that they already bring to the workplace.
Workforce essential skill programming is great for the laid-off worker. We see a lot of people who have been working in a factory for 25 plus years, and they don't know where to go, but they don't want to go back into a traditional classroom. So Workforce Essential Skills programming helps them upgrade their skills, transfer those skills that they already have into new jobs, and move forward.
It's tailored to the learner, it's learner focused, and it allows them to make transitions to employment when that's possible in a way that sort of meets the adult where they're at. I mean, no adult wants to go into an environment where they're treated like they were in grade 4. And I think that allows them, this approach allows them to be treated with respect, with dignity, in a way that celebrates the strengths that they have and the awareness and knowledge that they have.
Clients develop much greater confidence in their own abilities as they start to recognize how skills that they use at home are also applicable and transferable to the workplace. We can start with exercises that build on home-based skills and then move them into the sorts of tasks that they do in the workplace, working with schedules, working with the sorts of documents that they might see. And we like to try and capture those essential skills within the context of an overarching project.
One of the projects that they're engaged in is a community kitchen, so every week they're planning and preparing a meal for themselves, for a women's group in the community, for the other students at the school, and we're partnering with an elementary school. They'll be cooking for them as well. So there's a lot of rigorous health standards and budgetary requirements and things like that that go into that.
And if we know what type of employment they're going to be seeking, what they're interested in, then we can create projects that will be tuned to that area. So that helps them identify the skills that they're developing with the end goal that they're working towards.
It's like starting off from a place of what do you know, what do you bring to the table, and how can we fine-tune this and add to that to get you to sort of where you want to be.
They should pay you for your work, right? So that's your hourly wage. We're talking about anything extra that an employer might offer an employee.
Extra training.
Extra training?
Yes.
And they pay for extra training, yeah. I know a few companies that do yoga, and I know that some companies have daycare.
Oh, yeah. We're doing things in class that if I should go out in the workforce,
I'll be able to do it. We're doing graphs, we're doing memos, we're doing invoices, stuff like that.
I would say it's a great place. You learn so much here about yourself and your English, your math, but you learn even beyond that.
Did most employers prefer salaried, or do they prefer to pay hourly?
They prefer the hourly. It's cheaper for their pockets.
We saw a lot of learners really spending many years in programming, but not making real gains, getting frustrated, leaving, coming back.
Sometimes people have had difficulties in their employment because they didn't know they were on the schedule, because they actually didn't know that the schedule was there, or people being nervous about getting promoted because they were afraid to deal with like invoicing and purchase orders and those kind of paper-based things that people may have taken for granted. So then rather than continue on with that employment, they would stay at a level where they didn't have to deal with that. And this program gives them the confidence to be able to tackle those things.
Now, they're seeing, oh, you know what, I can do this. I can upgrade my essential skills enough that I can go back to that job and say, you know what, I'm ready for that promotion, or I'm ready to take on a little bit more responsibility.
Maybe I'll use some of the learners' language that they've shared with me around the benefits of essential skills training. So many of them have said, you know, prior to coming into this program, that they had no hope, that they assumed that they would just be on income assistance for the rest of their life. They didn't feel like they were contributing members to their family or to their broader community within the Sishot First Nation. And people now have a sense of hope and a sense of purpose. And one of the learners just shared, you know, her having a sense of purpose and a reason to wake up every single day and to do something with and for her community is really rewarding for her. And she feels really positive about that because she's also role modeling to her daughter, you know, a good work ethic and how to be a part of her community, a contributing part of her community.
In our new program, the attendance is between 98 and 100% so far. And there has never been any issues to address with learners who are missing class because they really feel like what they're doing is productive. And of course, they've bonded as a group, so they find, you know, comfort in the environment.
It's been energizing for them.
They'll want to stand up and share their work with other learners and with staff, and they take a great deal of pride in it. It's very rewarding.
When they get to the job, everyone's anxious, like where you hang your coat, where you park, but they don't have to have the anxiety about what's that form look like, or am I competent at doing that particular thing, because they've already had the exposure to that.